We are joined by Hoobastank. Of course, they're going to be hitting the stage tonight as we're celebrating 34 years here at Rock 105. It's our birthday. Our birthday
Happy
bash
birthday.
is tonight. It's not my birthday. I'm not quite that old. That's
Yeah.
a lie, actually. But anyway, along with Stellar Revival, tickets still available, so make sure you come out to the show. $15, and it's Monday. What else are you going to do? But
Those are two great reasons.
Absolutely.
$15. When do you go to shows for $15 anymore? That's like the price that you would go to shows. When
In the 90s?
yeah, when you and I, when
Right.
Dan and I used to go to shows, and it's Monday. It's football season hasn't started. It's not
Yeah.
like there's something to watch.
There's nothing going on. The Olympics don't start for, 4 more days?
Yeah, come on.
Do you guys watch the Olympics?
You know,
I know.
If it's on TV, sure.
It's
I'm
background
not. I'm
noise.
not the guy who like follows the Olympics, but it'll be on every single like channel.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm the same way.
So I'll end up watching. There's some sports that I find more interesting than others,
The
but
female ones? Or do you actually
yeah,
enjoy,
you know, like the ribbon.
like
the
volleyball's cool.
Honestly,
Have you seen some?
Yeah,
some of the
right?
volleyball?
yeah, I like just the gymnastics when they're just running full speed in that big
On the mat?
on the mat, and then they just go for it. That just always freaks me out. They're just
That's the floor routine.
dude, it's bad, man. I love that. I can watch the floor routine for days.
That's good to
Guys
know.
or girls?
Girls and guys, but girls. I mean, it's not. I'm not watching it in a sexual way in any way. I'm just watching it because I'm going like, dude, that looks like a ton of fun.
Do you ever
I
want
feel,
to
I
try
feel like
it?
I feel like the female floor routine is more elegant, and the guys one they try to emphasize like strength. You know.
I just get.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
I mean, I'm very impressed. I can't do any of that stuff, but it's so rad when they just bail.
It's kind of like watching NASCAR. You're just really waiting for the wreck.
Well, you guys have exciting new album coming out. What is it? August 25th? Is that the date we're
It's
looking
actually it's coming out in early September now.
at? Okay.
I apologize to any fans that have been following it because originally we said it was going to come out basically at the end of this month. But we are, for those who don't know, we pride ourselves off of our record label within the last year. And I've kind of started a joint venture with a partner. And so we're doing a lot of the stuff on our own. And there's a lot of things that need to be put in place and need to be done before you put out a record.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of having a giant corporation like just kind of handle everything without you even knowing, we have to handle everything on our own. And so, you know, some little things get overlooked or something like that. So things get pushed back. Wow. I'll get that. I'll get that.
Wow.
Who is that? So yeah,
Just so the listeners know that was not the band with their
yeah.
phones.
No, my phone is on silent.
I'm
Hopefully, I'm gonna have to double
sorry.
check now.
I thought it was on silent. Anyway, yeah, now look, we're all checking phones.
So basically, we have a record that's coming out. It keeps getting pushed. It's coming out this summer, but probably last I heard was September 11th, which is a pretty easy date to remember.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make up for the horrible memory of September 11th with an awesome album that's coming out.
Well, it's been, 3 years since your last album?
By the time the record comes out, it'll be what? 3?
3 years.
Um,
Well, you guys switched record labels, and like you were just saying a little bit
yeah,
ago.
it's
and
not like we sat around for 3 years and said, "What do you want to do?" You know, like we toured a lot behind the last record. A lot of it internationally, a lot of like USO stuff
Yeah, the military,
overseas
yeah.
in Korea and Iraq. And then you know, we started writing and recording this record, and it was kind of done. And then we decided to you know, pull ourselves off the label, and we got new management. There was a lot of like, you know, behind the scenes business changes going on, and for the better. Nothing like, you know, like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Like stuff we actually all felt we really needed to do, and so the record itself has been done for a little while.
Yeah.
We could have put the record out if it were just about having the music done and all that stuff. We could have put it out like probably a year ago, but like I said, there's a lot of things that go into it that people don't really realize, and we wanted to just do it right rather than rush it. you know?
Sure. Well, it's called Fight or Flight. Is there a story behind why you guys titled it Fight or Flight, or?
Not necessarily when we decided that. Fight or Flight is a song. It's kind of like a working title of a song that's on the record. The song on the record's called No Destination, but we call it Fight or Flight within the band. I guess when we chose it, it was kind of like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool title. And then now that we've been asked a ton about it, I
Right.
think no, honestly, I think like the meaning, a meaning is kind of growing out of it, and like the short version would be like, we've been doing this since. Dan and I have been playing music. Dan, Chris, and I, our drummer, since 1994.
Well, you guys met in high school at some Battle of the Bands or something, didn't you, or something like that?
We knew each other before the Battle of the Bands, but we met in high school. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we've known each other for so long. We've been playing music in this band for half of our lives. Like literally,
Isn't that crazy when you
longer
think about
than
it?
anything we've ever
Yeah.
done. Like longer than we were ever in school, from kindergarten through college. Like we've been doing this for. This is like who we are, and there's been so many, amazing ups and hard times and like trials and tribulations, that come with being in a band or just being basically like in a relationship with
Right.
these other guys, and I think there's been so many times that you could have just said, you know what, it's been awesome, it's time to do something else, or maybe I'm just not feeling it anymore like that, or we can just kind of remember that we're all just bros, and we love playing music together regardless of the business aspect of it, and we've kind of stuck it out, and that's like the fight rather than the flight,
Absolutely. Makes sense. That makes sense. I like that story. That's what you should stick with.
Well, I mean, it's not I'm
He's
gonna
like,
just make it up
he's
and
just
go.
making it up.
Yeah, it's kind of literally like, every time somebody asks it, it grows a little bit more. Like I start to think about it a little bit more, and so it makes more sense to me.
Well, I mean, you guys have been together since, what, 94? And like you said, it's like a relationship. Have you ever had those moments where you're like, man, I just hate looking at your face right now and almost wanted to walk away? No,
Yes.
I mean, because
Yeah.
it happens a lot, I mean.
But you know what? Too, I believe that like There's-
humans came from aliens.
well, I do believe that humans came from aliens, but I believe that like if you stick with, like, a lot of bands come and go. I mean, and I think that people just get sick of people and people walk away, and it's very common that bands break up, and there's lots of ups and downs in bands, and we've been together since '94, like you said, and yeah, I mean, there's a million times we could have walked away, or a couple days ago, who knows, like thoughts are always going through people's heads and stuff, but I think that if you communicate and you stick with it, positive things can happen. I don't know. Seems like it's working.
I feel like I'm at a marriage counseling session.
It is. You know what? Yeah. We've always likened it to like being in a marriage with like 3 other people.
It's exactly like a marriage. There's no sex. and
There's no sex and
each other.
nobody cooks.
and you're constantly nagging each other, right?
Yeah.
The new album, is there anything different, sound-wise or creative-wise, like different than the normal Hoobastank, that is on this album?
I think. Wow. Well, we wanted to do everything differently. Therefore, we used a different producer. We recorded it out of the country. We did this record in Toronto, and all the records prior had been done in LA, which is our hometown. So we're used to waking up in our own beds, going to record,
Yeah.
come back, go to sleep. So this was totally removing ourselves out of our
Kinda took your security blanket
yes,
away.
and with a new producer, new methods come with new producers, and so there's still definitely, it's still recognizable that it's us,
Right. Well, you have your own
right?
sound.
But I think we definitely played around with a lot more layers. I know Dan's probably has some of the most unique guitar work that he's ever done on this record, at least in my estimation. Probably than all other records that you've done.
It's weird, man, because I don't really see it like that at all. I mean, I don't disagree or agree. I just kind of look at it in the way that, you just love your parents, you love your brothers and sisters, and
Right.
it's just another. I mean, I'm stoked. I'm really happy with the record, and I'm excited about everything. But it's hard for me to kind of like look at it like that.
Do you ever just lay a track down or something and then just step back and listen to it and be like, God, it just always sounds the same, and I'm so comfortable with that. You listen to this and tell me what you think, and if I should change it. Like, do you guys do that? Do you compare? And
Yeah. I mean, I will ask, always, what do you guys think? Or if I've even said to Chris recently, I was like, yo, come into my house one day and dial in my amp for me. Like, dial in like the sound of my amp, what you like, because he's more of a tone guy than I am, So, at this point, I'm not afraid to ask somebody like, what do you think, or how can I try this, or whatever. As long as they're willing to hear it back from me, but I mean, I've been saying it my entire life, so.
yeah.
whatever.
So we're sitting at a tattoo location, Bombs Way tattoo location before the show, and it was brought to my attention that neither one of you have a tattoo at all. Not
No.
one.
Well, tattoos are different now, even more so than they were, 10, 15 years ago. I remember one of my best friends in high school got a tattoo and was like 16 years old. He might have been the only dude in high school with a tattoo, like it was kind of a statement, I don't this is going to come out wrong. It's going to make it sound like I'm like you've got like is that a full sleeve?
I have
And
I have a few.
yeah, like but
I won't be offended.
yeah, I don't.
Your
No.
opinion
I'm
is
just
your
saying.
opinion.
I just feel like tattoos, and I almost feel like it's almost hard to argue this point. It really used to mean. It really was a statement of individuality, of almost like what's the word, like basically, for lack of a better term, like a rebel.
Yeah.
Like a lot of military guys had tattoos, and they were really important, and it meant something. And somewhere along the line, it became basically just a fashion statement. That's all it is,
Yeah.
And within the fashion statement, there might be meaning. I'm not saying there isn't. Like, I'm totally not saying like everybody who's got a sleeve or whatever like
So
that
what's
is just
that
all.
trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, it went from being something that's very frowned upon, like
Right.
like tattoo. Oh, that guy
Ain't
must be
too
a
cool now.
ruffian or something like that.
Yeah.
To basically, you can go to the mall and get your ear pierced, your eyebrow pierced and your nose pierced, and at the sleeve tattoo. And I almost feel like that's because I totally was considering tattoos for a while. I was like, oh, I'm in a band, blah, blah, it'd be cool. I had a lot of like things, and then I kind of saw what was going on, and this is me being cynical, going, you know what? I bet if I stay tattoo-less, I'll be more punk rock in a band than the people who are just tatted from head to toe. Like, in a strange way, I still kind of hold that, but knowing that, I'll probably leave today and just go get like a tattoo.
Well, you're in the right location.
Yeah, I know. After that big spiel about like how it's all fashion now, like I'm gonna go get one. Like
Well, I think
probably
a
like
lot
the
of
worst one
people-
possible, like a
like a
dolphin,
Tasmanian
like a
devil or
dolphin
something.
jumping out of a wave under a rainbow on the small of my back.
There's reality show tattoo competitions on television
Yeah,
now.
Dave
I
Navarro
mean,
hosts one.
that disgusts me. Dave Navarro hosting it. That's just sad.
You have to understand what I mean, right? Like it. I'm
No,
not.
I totally
I'm
get
not
it.
making.
I'm not offended at all.
Yeah, I'm not making it up that the meaning of having a tattoo has changed so much in the last 20
but it
years.
has. I
Yeah.
completely
That's
understand
all
what
it
you're saying.
is.
Some people do it for fashion, and some
It's
people
just very
don't.
watered down. And 20 years ago or whatever it was, when Dave Navarro was Dave Navarro and he was playing in Jane's Addiction, do you think he would have thought he was a cool dude if he would have said, hey, dude, in 20 years, you're going to be hosting a reality show on True TV or whatever it is about a tattoo competition?
What's something today that it's hard to.
Dudes never believed in that stuff. Perry Farrell and all those guys that have their reality shows now, dude. Those guys are all. I mean,
Times have changed.
Sold
Times
out,
have
man.
changed. Yeah.
everything is just watered down now.
I'm glad Aaron just walked in. I don't know if you guys have met Aaron yet.
I
He's
met
the
Aaron,
promoter.
yeah.
Okay, Aaron wanted me to ask you guys a couple of questions. Aaron, come on over here, because he introduced me to a movie today that I was unfamiliar with. It was called Hot Rods. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Do you
Hot
know?
Rod.
Yeah, it's Hot Rod. So he wanted me to ask you who would win in a fight, the taco or the grilled cheese sandwich, and if he could use it in your intro when he introduces
I didn't
you
see the
guys.
movie. I just saw the part
Oh,
where he
no.
like comes out of his like coma. It says Hoobastank. That's it. Because
Well,
somebody
in
told
the
me.
dream, I watched it today.
I didn't see it either.
In the dream, it shows a taco and a grilled cheese sandwich fighting right before he comes out of the.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's a tough one. A taco and a grilled cheese.
yeah.
What kind of taco was it?
It was beef, and it had lettuce and tomato and cheese on it, and it was a hard show. Yeah. Oh, and it had the chair,
But
did
that's
the
beef.
wrestling.
The
chair.
other one's like more kind of vegetarian.
Yeah,
It's like just
right.
straight
So,
up grilled
so you're saying
cheese.
now you're saying vegetarians are wussies.
No, I'm,
You hate tattoos and vegetarians. are
Actually, our
wussies.
bass player Jesse's a tattooed vegetarian. I can't stand him. I hate him.
That's the irony of it all. Yeah, yeah.
Can we use that clip when we introduce you guys? Because
Yeah.
we have like the screens.
Vegetarians and tattoos. Whatever. Let's just say that.
Anyone else you want to offend?
Yeah.
I hope no one shows up tonight because I'm just totally kidding.
Now you've offended Aaron.
I think the taco wins.
Taco? Dan, taco?
I agree. I mean, there's beef in that thing, and I just think that beef is buffer than cheese.
So, ladies and gentlemen, vegetarians are wusses.
That should be the slogan for like the American Meat Council or something like that. Beef is buffer than cheese.
Oh, there
I
you
actually
go.
don't eat beef, by the way. I haven't had beef since 1994.
I'm
but-
not a big beef eater either.
But I just still think that beef would kick grilled cheese ass easy any day.
Well, with all the steroids they put in beef now. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I guess we should wrap this up so you guys can get ready for the show.
Well, sometimes grilled cheese has like slices of tomatoes, which are not very tough, you know.
That's not a grilled cheese sandwich. That's
Really
a grilled
breaking
cheese
it down.
and tomato sandwich. What if you throw bacon in it, though?
Well, then it might have a chance. But
I mean,
it's
pork
gonna
over
be like
beef.
it'll be slapping.
It would have to be a certain amount of bacon and a certain thickness of the cut.
How
What
many
if it was
pieces of
hickory smoked bacon? It was thick cut.
possible?
All right, Rockheads, that's Hoobastank tonight. Doors open up at 7 o'clock. Celebrating 34 years here with Rock 105. Make sure you get those tickets. Come on out, party with us tonight. Thanks, guys.
That's a video.
Yeah.